Milley actually told me that when we leave, I know where this came from. He went to Biden. I know exactly where this came from because he told me the same thing. Milley, a real genius. He went, I put the patent thing up, compare that to Milley, but he said to me the same thing as they did. Sir, it's cheaper to leave the equipment than it is to take it. I said, now wait a minute, and especially being in the construction business, right? I said, so you mean we have a $50 million plane, all it needs is a tank of gas and a pilot. We could have flown over 200 pilots, taken everything out, but we didn't have to worry because the Taliban listened to me. We didn't have one soldier killed. Think of it, in 18 months. I spoke to Abdul. Abdul is the man running the Taliban right now. They left us alone. And it would have been fine, but what happened is we took all our soldiers out. And I told this one time before to a great group of people, very much like you, from a slightly different state. Remember Biden when he said, it's great to be in Idaho. They said, sir, you're in Iowa. Do you remember that? It's wonderful to be in New Hampshire. Sir, you're in Florida. So we should have known. But I know exactly what happened. Milley went up to him, just like he did to me, but it was unacceptable. With me, I said, I want every nut, I want every bolt, I want every screw, I want every plane and tank, I want the Apaches, I want everything else. And I even want the hangars, those beautiful canvas hangars that hold these big monster planes. They're massive. I said, I want the hangars, I want the canvas, I want the plastic, I want the fiberglass, and I want the steel. I want everything out. And then we're going to bomb the hell out of the 5 or so bases that we don't want. And with Bagram, I hate to say it, but we're going to stay there. It's right next to China. Nice to have a base like that. It's got the longest runway there is. The concrete pad is so thick, I couldn't be in construction. I figured maybe 6 inches. How about like 6 feet? 6 feet thick. And we left it. They spent supposedly $10 billion building, and we left it in one night, and we left all the equipment. And don't believe them when they say they disabled the equipment. They didn't. You see a couple of helicopters, they didn't disable. They got killed for leaving the equipment, and so they disabled a couple of little old helicopters. That equipment is brand new right out of a box, including the night goggles, which are better than the goggles we have. They're later models. And including all of the rifles, machine guns, and guns. They're the latest model, the latest and the greatest. So our enemy of many years has all of that, and it's a shame. And remember this, just to go back for a second, so when Milley told me that, I said, what are you, a nut job? Are you stupid? That's when I realized, that was one of the many times I realized he was stupid. Such a phony story they concocted, but one of the many times. But you know what I realized? He went into Biden and said the same thing. Sir, it's cheaper to leave the equipment than it is to take it. You'll have a $5 million Army tank. You'll have a $30 million helicopter, brand new. You'll have, think of this. Even if you just flew it into Pakistan, it's a very short flight, and then you took your time in taking it. We should have taken everything. Most importantly, we should have never lost 13 warriors. And nobody talks about this, and we should talk about it every time. We also have numerous young people who have lost a leg, lost an arm, in one case lost 2 legs and an arm, and nobody talks. We talk about the 13, and we love those 13, and they're looking down on us right now, and they're proud of us because we know what we're doing. But we had some terribly wounded people. And overall, they lost approximately 250 people. That's a terrible thing. Should have never happened. Should have never happened in that location.